It's a new day, it's the same topic. Chelsea bidders has officially changed and locked in to be Americans. However, there is a slight chance that a rival country can possibly come in and sweep their offer. And we're talking about the South Koreans. There is so much talk in this video, guys, so stay tuned, like, subscribe, post notifications on. Let's jump straight into it because we've got so much to talk about and this is massive news. So we've got Catalina KIM, who is a sport agent and represents the South Korean bidders. So Catalina has technically publicly come out and said that she is interested in buying Chelsea. And she says here, "Thank you for everyone's support. I bid to buy Chelsea successfully as in of yesterday." So that was 3 days ago. Coming to yesterday, where she comes to this Matt Law tweet, which Matt Law says Catalina KIM and CP Sports has secured the additional funding for the Nick Candy bid for Chelsea. She said, "Catalina KIM and the CP we are very much pleased with our additional investor." So the CP Sport, aka Catalina KIM and Nick Candy, has come together to create a group and essentially take over Chelsea. And she goes here that. Then she comes in and says, "Thank you for the continued support from everyone buying Chelsea, blah blah blah." But then she adds that the new investors secured has strong ties to big Korean corporations such as International Pension Service of Korea, and this has $1 billion in assets. Korea Investment Corporations, which has 180 million in assets, and Samsung, Hyundai, LG, SK, Elan, Kakao, Crafton, Lotte Group, GC Group, Hawana, Shinseng Group, NC Group, and Smilegate. The fund will come with strategic partners that every football club needs and is stable. We're very excited at the plan we have. So at least this person, Catalina, and her group, which involves Nick Candy, is public about what they're going to do and is listening to the fans what they're going to do. However, she could be saying that now and then take over Chelsea and change it. But from what we've seen now, we've seen public news from an agent wanting to buy Chelsea, which is we haven't seen before. And this was from Forrest, which says we had a positive talk with Chelsea supporters, trust team, and rest assured all referred in our offer letter. So they have put the offer in, they're in the preferred bidders, and they're looking to be the first bidders at Chelsea Football Club. However, there has been some more news. Obviously, she's reading DMs and she's non-stop reading DMs. She's talking, giving us their offer letter. She is very public on her team buying Chelsea, which is very good because we need someone who communicates with the public, communicates with people who watch football. This is someone that I would love to have at Chelsea. And obviously Nick Candy being the other owner and then partnering, I assume that the South Koreans will give him the assets for him to make the decisions in order with Catalina and the group. Now, the only disadvantage with this is that a group. Now, two groups who don't know each other coming to one team. Now, hopefully they're on the same page, because if there is conflict, that's when it goes bad. That's why we're always wanting one owner who are in the same group. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes, because obviously we've got other bidders, and these bidders are now the Americans. So let's get into that part. Now, this was a comment from some fan, and some fan says, "As long as you're not a stingy American, I'll support you. But you need to promise that you will invest heavily into the club for signing players, extend player contracts, invest to the women's team, academy, rebuild Stanford Bridge, and most importantly, back Tuchel. Given what he wants, don't let the players suffer for some average Chelsea players." And she comments 100%. Get her in. Then she goes on to say, "We are the most balanced chorus with healthy finance, prospect sponsors like Samsung, back, experience in sport and football operations, and crazy love for Chelsea of Nick and I. Fingers crossed." That is very positive. Very positive news from a bidder. Now, we have not got any news from other bidders on what they're going to do. So this is very public, and this is what we want to see. We want to see, the owners kind of responding to the fans, seeing what the fans like, and then pursuing what the fans want. Obviously, you can't have a fan in owner position, because then that will lead to chaos. But just having some ideas and listening to the fans. Not saying Roman didn't. Roman definitely did, but at least now they're coming out publicly saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, I'll back this. If you want this, I'll do this. So they are listening very heavily. I've got a massive update from Andreas Korsand, who has just sent me this. Why does Nick Candy and Catalina bid for Chelsea include? So it kind of just says why they want to bid and what it includes. So let's go through. Nick Candy has been a long one, blah 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 blah. Now Catalina, a long-time Chelsea fan with a lot of passion for the sport, to keep winning and be successful. Catalina and Candy are planning to redevelop Stanford Bridge. The new stadium is believed to have more than 60,000 seats, something around the 70,000 mark, which is great. Catalina and Candy has already promised to keep investing in the men's, women's and academy teams. Catalina and Candy are both huge Chelsea fans and want to keep winning. They understand to keep spending big and extending key player contracts will be the massive in for the coming years. They are both also huge fans of Thomas Tuchel's work. They want to have a close relationship with him as they hope to keep him for many years, which is very, very great news to hear. Players' contract is a major problem at Chelsea as it stands. Key players like Rudiger, Christensen and Aspi are all running out. Catalina and Candy want a fixed situation and they're really keen to keep Rudiger. They understand that Christian said move to Barcelona and already done. Good. Move to Barcelona and already done, and they therefore plan to trigger the clause in Azpilicueta's contract that will make him stay at the club for another year. That's not bad. I wouldn't mind him for another year, but I do respect him for going to Barcelona. The plan is to keep both Aspi and Rudiger. Of course they don't want Christensen. No one wants Christensen. Catalina will also make sure that the club's partnership with 3K will be totally removed. Yes, and I've already been working on a new partnership with Samsung. I would love to have the OG Samsung on the shirt. That would be amazing. Then we can make retro kits and all that. There has also been groundwork for other potential sponsorship deals that are yet to be known. Catalina and Candy does also want to keep Marina and Bruce, not Bruce Bark, in their respective posts. They believe that experience is key, and to change everything straight away would not be beneficial for Chelsea. Wow. Massive, massive news. And this is very big news because this is what they're bidding. No other person has said and been as public as these people. Massive, massive news. Let me know what you guys think of this, because they can be very, very beneficial. Because if they be beneficial like this and they kind of publicly say we're going to do this, then we will have an idea. And from this idea, it looks like they're kind of listening to us. We want Rudiger's contract, Aspi's contract fixed. We want to back Tuchel. We don't want 3UK on our shirts anymore. Get them off. We got to move his back because he is not in our squad. We do not want him there. But Marina would be fantastic. Fantastic. So now this is where the pedestal changes a bit, because we just spoke about how the South Koreans and Nick Candy, who is a British, are going to create one group and take over Chelsea. Now, the USA are set to be favourites and expected there'll be 3 or 4 bidders. So there's 3 or 4 American bidders. Then there's the Nick Candy and the South Korean, and then there's the Saudis. So at least we've narrowed down to some small bidders. Now these are the Ricketts, the Johnsons, and these people are not good people. We do not want these people at Chelsea. Hence why I do not want 2 of these 3 Americans at Chelsea. Obviously this is from Niz Khan Salah, who's been doing this whole journey from the start. And then obviously here comes the Ricketts family. This is the people we do not want. They are very racist, they're very homophobic, they're very Islamophobic. And they do say, our family rejects any form of hate in the strongest possible terms. Racism and Islamophobia have no place whatsoever in our society. And obviously we know that's very, very fake, because they have said a lot of stuff very, very bad. And we do not want them there. We do not want them at this club. So I say no to these Ricketts. I say no to the Americans. And I want either the South Korean, because they are heavily invested. But again, they would be a very good pick. But it's slightly on the edge if they will listen too much to the fans and kind of, you know, think of it as, I don't know how to describe it, think of it, you know, let's just buy Messi, Mbappe, blah, 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 all these players because 7 fans want Mbappe, you know. It's like they've really got to look deeper, get squad depth, you know, get youngsters, get people no one's ever heard of, and then bring them up. So they got to create a good scout, and I can see from what she's been saying that they can do that. However, the Saudis are still in the table, but it doesn't look like they're going to be the bidders. Then it does not look like they're going to be the owners of Chelsea. It's looking like it's either going to be an American-based owner or it's going to be the South Korean woman. Let me know who you guys want in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, post notifications. It's a very short video. I'm trying to keep it very short for you guys. I'm running through it. There's still a lot of news, guys. I'm going to be covering that in tomorrow's video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe. Let's hit 100 subs by the end of the week.